Why do we feel pain? Or put differently, why does a broken heart hurt? Hello, I'm Rodger Duckworth, and for the last 30 years I've helped people, often at the edge of despair, not just manage but to often overcome their chronic pain, their chronic health issues, their relational issues and their trauma. Pain is a felt experience. In my work, I often talk about what's the felt sense, and people look at me blankly and will go, I feel anxious. Okay, where do you feel that? How do you recognize that? It's often what I might say. How do you recognize it? Well, I think I know I feel anxious. Yes, I know. How do you know that? Pain is pay attention I need. It's communication. It's a communication sensation, just the same as everything else. I feel hunger. I mean, if you feel hunger enough, that's starving. It will drive you, or a pain of, I really need to empty my bladder. It's a pricking type, it's a pretty unpleasant, painful sensation. Well, it doesn't mean anything's broken. It just means you need to go to the toilet. It's a signal. The confusion comes that, of course, if we have something which is inflamed from actual tissue damage, then that can also generate pain. It's just a signal. It's saying, stop hitting my hammer with your hand with a hammer. It's stop saying, you've got an infection here. You need to go and take care of that. Or you've got something going on. But the challenge is that we assume that all painful signals mean that there's something wrong. Well, we've just demonstrated that with the painful pricking sensation of a full bladder. So why does pain hurt? Well, I think we feel it because we're sentient beings and we are meant to be in connection with our experience moment to moment. And part of that might be that we feel joy. Part of it might be that we feel love as we hold our child in our hands and a newborn in our hands. These are part of our experiences. And sometimes we have painful loss, and grief is terribly, terribly painful. So I personally don't believe that pain is any different to any other experience. It's just one that we find really unpleasant and very difficult to be with. We don't generally have a problem trying to get away from pleasant experiences of joy and love, but we don't like unpleasant experiences. And therein lies the problem. Because, and from my own personal healing journey, I had to move from a position of really feeling like my body was the enemy to now going, it's my friend. And even when it sends me signals, then I meet those signals with curiosity and with compassion to be able to say, okay, what is it that you need me to know? And I don't worry about them so much. I hear the early warning signals and I go, oh, okay, I need to do something about that. And can I understand, or even need to understand what's going on, but just to notice it and be able to sit with my body in a different relationship. All healing is relational, and sometimes that's relational within ourselves, or it's relational between others and self. And our relationship with our own being and our relationship with life, all of these things are really important in healing. So broken hearts is an actual thing. That's something called Sakatsubo syndrome, where people's heart will actually stop beating, and Suba being that sort of point in Japanese is where it comes from. There's a point, the Zuba in Shiatsu are rather like acupuncture points. And Sakatsubo is really a big shock to the heart. And what it does is it damages the signaling from the sinoatrial node, the pacemaker in your heart, and it causes an electrical disturbance. Now, that pacemaker in our heart is an automatic process that goes on all the while that we are alive due to depolarization of potassium and sodium. But overlying that, what makes the heart rate go up and down is our friend, the autonomic nervous system. Yeah, this excitation of the sympathetic, down-regulation parasympathetic. Heart rate goes up, goes down. Need to run upstairs, goes up. Sitting, stroking the cat, goes down. Yeah? So that sympathetic activation on the top, it will be so associated from the other videos with trauma, with emotion, we feel an emotional quality and we get an autonomic nervous system response. And so if that's a big shock to the heart, that's Sakatsubo. And so we can actually, if the magnitude of that loss of love of a loved one is so great, we can literally die of a broken heart. And people do. And so, if that doesn't really tell us the power of emotion in pain, and that there are muscles in our heart. I mean, I know this well from my own autoimmune issue many years ago. My heart hurt so much, and there was physical swelling. There are muscles around it. Yeah, there's a transverse muscle just behind the the breastbone, behind the sternum, which will armor. In body psychotherapy, we would talk about armoring, and it will brace to protect our internal organs. And if we feel signals that go, I don't feel, I've got to protect my heart, the muscular system will brace around it. Now that is a big cause of pain for many people, is this bracing in the body. And so, why do we feel pain? We feel pain because it's trying to communicate something. The issue is whether we're able to listen to it, or whether we think that it's the enemy and we think it's bad and we worry about it. Can we come into relationship with our pain and go, okay, all right, can I be with that? Can I be with the grief? Can I be with that worry? Can I be with that sensation? It really makes a massive difference when we're able to do that.